Have you met a poet today? Welcome to day 2 of our new series, Waiting to Meet. On day 1, you were allowed a glance at the complicated relationship between Jürgen and Akasha. Today, we get to press our noses right up against the window pane. You have sent in your questions and we are ready to dish out the answers. As an added bonus, I will also discuss my own strifes and strides with this novel. But first, your questions. Number 1. Where is Cobb Cecil set? A practical question, if ever there was one. The story of Cobb Cecil takes place mainly in Hanover, Germany. However, other towns and cities are featured sporadically. Number 2. Does Akasha love Jürgen? That's a good one. She does, but she's also scared of the fact that he loves her in return. You see, in her mind, she has a hard time processing her feelings, and to find someone who is willing to meet her at the extreme side of that and stay, how can she not love him? How can she not want the very best for him, even if that does not include her? Moving on to number 3. Why did the female character break off the relationship? As I said previously, she understands what the limits are supposed to be. But to answer your question more precisely, she broke things off with him 7 years before meeting him again. At that time, she was trying to make her own way in this world, especially beyond the grasp of her family. And Jürgen just happened to propose at the same time. Even though we know that they could have worked it out, she ran from that. She ran from it as fast as she could. She was not ready. Number 4. Why is Jürgen such a masochistic simp? Aren't we all fools in love? But seriously though, Jürgen probably does have his own issues that would paint Akasha as worth it. His mom died while giving birth to his younger brother. Then his dad abandoned both of them shortly thereafter. Akasha's grandfather was the one to give him a permanent residence years later. Thus, they grew up together, essentially. And he understands that, at the very least, Akasha expresses herself physically across the board. It's her main way of communicating. So for Jürgen, he knows what it feels like to be abandoned, yet found. And he just didn't want her to participate in such a feat. Number 5. When am I hearing the rest of the story? I love this question so much. It's just a sum of encouragement and I hold it dear to my heart. However, to answer your question, to be announced. After this event, Waiting to Meet, I want to do a full season of 20 to 30 episodes, hearing other writers dish on the details of their own works before plugging myself back into my own show, shamelessly, might I add. However, I will consider a full chapter reading as a token, but that's for a later date. Stay tuned. With regard to my own strifes and strides with this novel, Akasha, named after an old friend, is a glorified self-insert, but I love that her story is still her own. This novel is not yet complete, but I can trust that it will be worth finishing. Thank you once again for listening to another episode of our series, Waiting to Meet. If you or anyone you know is interested in being featured, please email me at metapoet.org@gmail.com. That is metapoet.org@gmail.com. Please remember to like the episode, subscribe to the channel, and share everything. Your continued support is greatly appreciated. Till day 3, keep writing. Today I met a poet, and it was me.